Hare Krishna. So we would like to continue with yesterday's session of Canto 1, Chapter 1 and Verse 1. So yesterday we discussed about the two explanations given by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura for this verse. So now we'll continue with the third explanation. Let's meditate on Krishna, from whom arises Madhura Rasa through meeting and separation, who as the hero, most skillful in everything related to rasa, is beyond the material realm, who conveyed to Bharat Muni the same Madhur rasa about which other poets are bewildered. In whom alone arises the three types of literary meaning in extraordinary form, and who defeats the withered arguers by the extraordinary influence of the experience of Madhura rasa. Another meaning is revealed in the verse, showing the highest choice of Krishna's rasa with the appearance of the highest sweetness with the gopis, even though he has other associates in Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya. Tatrati Shushube Tabhir Bhagavan Devaki Suta Madhye Maninam Haimanam Mahamarakato Yatha. In the midst of the dancing gopis, Lord Krishna appeared most brilliant, like an exquisite sapphire in the midst of golden ornaments. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-6. Let us meditate on Krishna, from whom appears the highest rasa, Shringar rasa, Janmadasya. Previously, this rasa, though existing, had disappeared because of the censure by conservative spiritual aspirants. By meeting and separation, this rasa with the gopis is accomplished. Just as Bhima Sena is represented by the word Bhima, so the Adya rasa is represented by the word Adya, or because Bhagavatam is considered to the scriptural form of Madhura Rasa, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam, by the proximity of the verses, the word Adyasya can infer the word Rasasya as the object which is being described. The state created by meeting and separation actually establishes the rasa as its counterpart. Thus, there's no worry that the original form of rasa is degraded by this condition. Rather, such a state indicates the secret nature of this Madhura rasa. Next, there is an elaboration of the vibhava in the form of the alambana. Krishna is knowledgeable of or skillful in all things, abhijna, suitable for rasa, such as the 64 arts. But unlike material heroes such as Nala, who are affected by time and karma, Krishna, the Vishaya of spiritual rasa, is independent and spiritual, Swarat. Rasa should not be accredited to other persons. He alone conveyed the truth about Adi Rasa, Brahma, through his mind, Shrida, onto Bharat Muni, Adi Kavaye, the famous exponent of material rasa. This reveals that rasa originates only from Krishna. Amarakosha says that Brahma can mean Vedas, truth, or austerity. In this truth, Yatra, the poets are bewildered because of the descriptions with concentration on material heroes such as Nala. An example is given: just as one mistakes fire or earth for water, people think the rasa directed only to the Lord should be directed to material persons. There's no rasa in material heroes whose temporary bodies end in ashes and worm waste. Rather, on consideration, in this, there is a contradiction to rasa, distaste or disgust, due to the perversion of the object of love, vibhava. The unintelligent describe rasa in such persons. In the Lord, there is the creation of the three meanings: literal, metaphorical, and suggested. or creation of allusion, dhvani, skill in composition, guna, and the literary ornaments, alankara. These are real, Amrisha, and become amazing because of the extraordinary nature of Krishna. The life force of the material hero, made simply of proud words of poets, is false. Some persons do not accept rasa. By the amazing influence of the direct experience of tasting Madhur Rasa Dhamna, which is extraordinary, Svena, Krishna defeats the withered Mimamsakas. Now let's go to the fourth explanation. Without deceit, in correct manner, aspiring for the highest goal, we meditate on Radha and Krishna, from whom arises the height of Madhur Rasa. By giving up the other gopis and following only her as Dhira Lalita, he showed his expertise in the chief aspects of rasa, and she exhibited herself as an independent lover. Krishna imparted the Bhagavatam through the heart to Shukadeva, knower of this rasa from birth. Bhagavatam makes the devotees faint in ecstasy and undergo transformation. Just as fire, water, and earth reverse their properties, by his influence, the three Shaktis remain eternally. Among all the gopis, sweetness reaches its highest point in the company of the Queen of Vrindavana, the principal gopi. This is indicated in the following verses. Among all the gopis, sweetness reaches its highest point in the company of the Queen of Vrindavana. The principal gopi. This is indicated in the following verses. Kasya padani chaitani yataya nandasununa amsanyasta prakoshtaya kareno karina yatha. Here we see the footprints of some gopi who must have been walking along with the son of Nanda Maharaja. He must have put his arm on her shoulder, just as an elephant rests its trunk on the shoulder of an accompanying she elephant. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-27. Anayaradhito nunam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yam Anayad Raha. Certainly, this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-28. A meaning which indicates this should be found in the first verse of Bhagavatam. We meditate upon Radha and Krishna, from whom there is the appearance Janma of Madhurasa, Adhyasya. This means that these two are the supreme receptacle of the art of Madhura Rasa. Giving up all other gopi lovers, Itaratha, he followed her alone and became obedient to her, Anvayat. Itarata as an ablative meaning from others and indicates a suppressed indeclinable participle. The following verse shows how he followed only Radha. And over here, that intelligent boy must have put her down to gather some flowers. Just see how in this place, dear Krishna collected flowers for his beloved. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:30-31-32. Because he gave up other gopis and followed her alone, is known as Dhira Lalita, lover, favorable for cultivating rasa. He is thus called as one who is fully knowledgeable of the chief rasas filled with Madhura rasa, Arteshu Abhignya. And because he's Dhira Lalita, she alone remains with her lover, Swaraj. As a because he's Dhira Lalita, she alone remains with her lover, Swarat, as a Swadhina Kanta, a woman who controls Krishna. Hare Krishna, just a minute, please. In order to reveal all this, he imparted the Bhagavatam Brahma through the heart, containing as its essence the 5 chapters on rasa to Shukadeva, nor of this tattva, Kavaye from his birth, Adi. The Bhagavatam is called Brahma in the following verse: Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam. This Bhagavata Purana is furnished with Brahman. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.40. Shuka Mukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam. Bhagavatam is sweetness flowing from the mouth of Shuka. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. Shuka Vag Amrita Du. Krishna is the moon rising from the sweet ocean of words of Shuka. Krishna Ashtottara Shatanama Stotra Brahmanda Purana. From hearing the Bhagavatam, since it has rasa, the devotees faint in ecstasy from tasting the rasa, yet suraya mukhyanti. Or because Radha and Krishna are the objects of their hearing and seeing, their close associates suraya, though most wise, become bewildered. This means that they take on qualities opposite to their normal qualities out of ecstasy, and others are included in this ecstasy also. This is illustrated through an example. Their ecstasy is just like earth, water, and fire, reversing their properties. For instance, the moon, a form of fire, on seeing the Ras Leela of Radha and Krishna, gave up its quality of moving and became stunned like earth. Water, on hearing the sound of the flute, became stunned like earth. Stones made of earth became liquid like water. By the influence of these two, Yatra Dhamna Svena, the creation of the 3 concerts, Trisarga, Shri, Bhu, and Leela, or the gopis, the queens, and Lakshmis, or the internal, external, and marginal potencies, becomes factual, Amrisha. This means that the concerts such as Shri, who have been manifested by Radha and Krishna, by their influence, by their being the basis of the concerts, exist eternally because of their eternal relationship. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams, Prabhuji. கேக்குதா பிரபுஜி? Is it audible, Prabhuji? Please welcome. Can I continue, Prabhuji? Okay. This means that the concepts such as Shri, who have been manifested by Radha and Krishna, by their influence, by their being the basis of the concerts, exist eternally because of their eternal relationship. We meditate on them without deceit, as in real forms, Satyam, and as the most excellent forms, Param. Thus, the object of worship, Radha and Krishna, Vishaya of the Bhagavatam, has been shown as the subject of the first verse. So, that is the 4th explanation, showing Radha and Krishna as the Vishaya of the Bhagavatam. Now, the 5th explanation. Let us meditate on the most beneficial spiritual process, which is beyond the gunas, which brings about the appearance of the Lord as Bhagavan, and by which there is realization of Brahman and Paramatma in the processes of Jnana and Yoga, which is complete knowledge. So here in the 5th explanation, we are meditating on the process of bhakti. So let's meditate on the most beneficial spiritual process, which is beyond the gunas, which brings about the appearance of the Lord as Bhagavan, and by which there is a realization of Brahman and Paramatma in the processes of Jnana and Yoga, which is complete knowledge, independent of other process, which was revealed by Narada to Vyasa, but which is bewildering to even great sages, which is not mixed with the 3 gunas, and which defeats its opponents by its very nature of giving direct experience of bliss. The process of bhakti is indicated in scriptures as the abhideya by which the ashraya Krishna can be attained. It brings about the highest realization and attracts even Krishna. That bhakti then becomes the prayojana, prema. Thus, bhakti yoga should also be considered as the subject of this verse because of this. Another meaning is included as an essential theme of this verse. Thus, it said in the 12th canto. Thus, it is said in the 10th canto, in the 12th canto, words that do not describe the transcendental Lord but instead deal with temporary matters are simply false, harsh, and useless. Only those words that manifest the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord are actually truthful, auspicious, and pure. Tad eva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tad eva shashvan sashvan manaso mahotsavam tad eva shokarnava shoshanam nrunam Yad uttama shloka yasho nugiyate. Those words describing the glories of the all-famous Lord are attractive, relishable, and ever fresh. They are a perpetual festival for the mind, and they drive the ocean of misery. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:12, 49 to 50. Taking bhakti as the subject of the verse, param, the best, then means beyond the three gunas. Since bhakti is another form of the real substance, vastava vastu. Satyam refers to bhakti yoga, which is full of the most auspicious qualities beneficial for spiritual practitioners. Satyam param dhimahi then means let us meditate on transcendental bhakti yoga. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hai udakrutam. It is filled with the qualities of bhakti yoga, which is beyond the gunas. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-12. Oh, Uddhava, because I personally established it, this process of Nishkama Bhakti is beyond the gunas. Even by starting and not completing the process, there is no destruction of results. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:29-20. The Lord, full of knowledge and bliss, is situated in Bhakti Yoga, which is also eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Gopal Tapni Upanishad 278. Then the power of bhakti is described from bhakti. There is an appearance of the Supreme Lord in the worshippers of Bhagavan. As well, by the association of bhakti, there is realization of the Supreme Lord as Brahman and Paramatma in other processes. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga. But it is well known that cultivation of pure Jnana alone gives realization of Brahman. No, the Supreme Lord is Jnana in complete form, Abhijna, because Jnana is in the mode of Sattva only. Without the association of Bhakti, there can be no realization of Brahman or Paramatma. Thus it is said, even the stage of Jnana without the bondage of karma is not glorious because it is devoid of bhakti to the Supreme Lord. What is the use of having destroyed ignorance? What to speak of sakama karma, which is suffering during practice and perfection, and nishkama karma when not offered to the Lord? Srimad Bhagavatam 1:5-12. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Only by bhakti can a person know me as Brahman. Then, knowing me as Brahman, by that bhakti, he merges with me. Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Jnana Yoga for realizing Brahman is dependent on bhakti, and bhakti for realizing Bhagavan is dependent on jnana. So, to counter this argument, it is said that this Bhakti Yoga reigns independently, Swaraj. The king being independent is not dependent on anyone. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. The person desiring destruction of all desires, the person with all desires, and even the person with the intense desire for liberation, if he has good intelligence, will worship the Supreme Lord with pure bhakti. Srimad Bhagavatam 2:3-10. Tivrena bhakti yogena means by pure bhakti. Bhakti should remain unmixed with jnana or other elements, just as the sun's rays remain untouched by the clouds. Yat karma bhir yat tapasa jnana vairagyatascha yat yogena dana dharmena shreyo bhir itarair api sarvam mad bhakti yogena mad bhakto labate anjasa swarga vargam mad dhama katanchid yadi vanchati. Everything that can be achieved by karma, penance, jnana, vairagya, yoga, charity, dharma, and all other auspicious means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through bhakti. If somehow or other my devotee desires swarga, liberation, or residence in my abode, he easily achieves such benedictions. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:20, 32-33. On the other hand, mixed bhakti is prohibited for devotees. Tasman mad bhakti yuktasya yogino vai mad atmana na jnanam na cha vairagyam praya shreyo bhaved iha. Therefore, for a devotee engaged in my loving service, with mind fixed on me, the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:20-31. Therefore, for a devotee engaged in my loving service, with mind fixed on me, the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:20-31. However, such pure bhakti cannot be attained without the mercy of devotees. This is stated next in the verse that bhakti was revealed to Vyasa by the mercy of Narada, who has Brahman in his heart. But how can we understand? But how can we understand that even omniscient Vyasa's knowledge of bhakti is dependent on another person, Narada? Even sages such as Vasishta are bewildered about bhakti yoga, which is beyond the gunas. It's impossible for minds and intelligences which are generated from the gunas to understand about bhakti yoga by themselves, because bhakti yoga can be understood only by the mercy of devotees. Those persons who try to understand it by themselves only attain ignorance, mukhyanti. This is mentioned in the Hamsa Guhya prayers. I offer respects to the great Lord of eternal qualities, whose material energy is the cause of agreement and disagreement among those who make philosophies and then argue with others, whose material energy continually bewilders them as to the real nature of Atma. Srimad Bhagavatam 6:431. But bhakti is not completely beyond the gunas. This is shown in the third canto, where bhakti is described as sattvika, rajasika, and tamasika. In this bhakti yatra, the idea that is made of the three gunas, that it is made of the three gunas, three sarga, is unfounded. Misha, although bhakti is not made of fire, water, or dust in its natural state, it can become burned by fire, diluted by water, and contaminated with dirt. Similarly, though bhakti yoga is beyond the three gunas, it's called sattvika, rajasika, or tamasika only due to the sattva, rajas, and tamas possessed by persons practicing bhakti. Many people will object if you say Bhakti Yoga is beyond the gunas. This Bhakti Yoga defeats all the arguers because of its very nature, Dhamna Svena, being filled with unprecedented sweetness that can be realized only by the devotees. This means that since it's directly realized, it does not depend on any other proof to defeat the arguers. Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is also compared to many other things. So we will go step by step with that. Bhagavatam is compared to a lamp in the following two verses. Yasvanubhavam akhila shruti saram ekam adhyatma deepam atitirishatam tamo andham. Samsarinam karuna yaha purana guhyam tam vyasa sunam upayami gurum muninam. I surrender to the son of Vyasa, the incomparable guru of all the sages, who mercifully spoke the Purana full of hidden meanings, the essence of all the scriptures, the essence of hearing for all the people of this world, even in the future, who spoke the Bhagavatam, which revealed the excellence of Rasa to Shukadeva, and which is the revealer of Atma for those desiring to cross dense ignorance with ease. Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 1, 2, 3. Next example they've given is reference. I meditate upon that pure, spotless Narayana who is free from suffering and death and who previously revealed this incomparable lamp of knowledge to Brahma. Brahma then spoke it to the sage Narada, who narrated it to Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Srila Vyasadeva revealed the Bhagavatam to the greatest of sages, Shukadeva Goswami, and Shukadeva mercifully spoke it to Maharaja Parikshit. Srimad Bhagavatam 12, 13, 19. Bhagavatam is now compared to the sun. कृष्णे स्वधामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः कलौ नष्टदृशम् एष पुराणार्को धुनोदिता. Though Krishna, departing from Dwaraka, arrived at Prabhasa and then disappeared along with the six opulences, the Purana, another form of the sun, as now, though Krishna, departing from Dwaraka, arrived at Prabhasa and then disappeared along with the six opulences, this Purana, another form of the sun, has now risen in Kali Yuga for those who have lost their knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.43. Bhagavatam is described as giving a tasty fruit in the third verse of this chapter with Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Rasam. It is the matured fruit of the desired tree of the Vedas. Now, Bhagavatam is compared to Mohini Avatara because it gives different results to different people. The first explanation of this verse of Bhagavatam shows its nature as a light, giving deliverance from misery through general understanding of the Lord or Adhyatma. The second explanation shows it as the sun, more powerful, destroying misconceptions of the demons, bringing joy to the devotees. The third, fourth, and fifth explanations show that it is the bestower of tasty fruit, full of rasa, revealing Madhura rasa, Radha, and pure bhakti. The devotees, being the rightful recipients, are considered to be like the Devatas. The third, fourth, and fifth explanations show that it is the best of a tasty fruit, full of rasa, revealing Madhur rasa, Radha, and pure bhakti. The devotees, being the rightful recipients, are considered to be like the Devatas since they receive the nectar in the form of relishing the rarest taste of these five meanings. The Bhagavatam is considered to be like Mohini, serving out these different meanings of Bhagavatam to the devotees. The Bhagavatam is considered to be like Mohini, serving out these different meanings of Bhagavatam to the devotees. Though all 12 cantos, though all 12 cantos of the Bhagavatam are like the tasty fruit, the sun and the lamp, the topics of creation and destruction, Sarga and Nirodha, and various verses describing these are considered to be the lamp, since those topics reveal only the general subject of the Lord, Adhyatma. Secondary creation, visarga, maintenance, sthana, protection, portion, and other topics, Uti, Manvantara, Ishanukata, and Mukti, are considered to be the sun since they reveal in addition the results of forbidden practices for enjoyment and renunciation available in Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and their unlimited sub-varieties. Topics dealing with the appearance and pastimes of the Lord and his devotees and bhakti and prema are considered to be the tasty fruit of rasa. All the topics, however, give joy to the devotees by the Lord, by the Lord, by taking on a meaningful, favorable bhakti. Thus, same topics, however, are like Mohini and take on different meaning for bewildering the demonic group who give meanings that are unfavorable for bhakti. The same topics, however, are like Mohini and take on a different meaning for bewildering the demonic group who give meanings that are unfavorable for bhakti. One should not say that it is unbefitting to eulogize the unfavorable meanings of the Bhagavatam, which is directly filled with bhakti rasa. The Supreme Lord is full of all Shaktis, and so is the Bhagavatam. Thus, it takes on meanings according to the minds of various types of persons, adhikaris of this Shastra. For such revelations are befitting to the Lord who possesses all powers. The way Mallanam Ashanir, Nunam, Naravara, Strinam, Smaro Murtiman, Gopanam Swajano, Shatam, Kshiti Bujam, Shasta, Yeva Pitro Shishu, Mriyur Bhoja Pater, Virad, Avidusham, Tatvatam Param Yoginam, Vrishninam Para Devateti, Vidito Rangam Gata Sagraja. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the men of Mathuras as the best of males, the women as Cupid in person, the coward men as the relative, the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parents as their child, the king of the Bhojas as death, the unintelligent as a material form, the yogis as the absolute truth. In the above verse, it's mentioned Virad Avidisham for the foolish. In the above verse, it's mentioned Virad Avidusham. For the foolish, he appeared to be a material person, thus everything is in agreement. Hare Krishna, that's the end of this first commentary on the first verse. So we'll continue later with the second verse. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.